Hi, this is Peter with Making Sales Simple, and I wanted to personally invite you to the Shed Sales Summit this September in Knoxville, Tennessee. First of all, we're going to have some speakers come in that are motivational, but also knowledge-driven. So one of the things they're going to teach you is about marketing. And as we look around in this shed industry, there's all kinds of people talking about marketing, but this guy has a proven track record. Steve Robinson will be joining us in Knoxville, Tennessee. You do not want to miss him. He is known for creating the Cows campaign for the Chick-fil-A brand, and he will be speaking to us. Make sure you get your tickets at ShedSalesSummit.com. You won't want to miss it this September in Knoxville.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Simply Shed Talk Live, where we come to you live from the shed industry and talk about anything pertaining to sheds. And with that, we have a special guest today over there with Peter Miller. So Peter, of course, we all know who Peter Miller is, but go ahead and introduce who you have there with us.
Sure. So I have Quentin Miller here sitting beside me. You always ask our location. We are in Auburndale, just outside of Lakeland, Florida today. And Quentin has come in and joined us today. We're carrying a line of his product. And I'm going to let Quentin introduce himself and kind of tell a little bit about Overhaul.
Yes, my name is Quentin Miller. I currently live in Montezuma, Georgia, and work for Overhaul Enterprises a little bit over 10 years now with the company. And so we manufacture portable chicken coops, dog kennels, greenhouses, gazebos, screen rooms, kind of that kind of product line. Don't really get into the storage sheds themselves, but it's more of a complementary product to the storage shed industry.
I know that we started carrying Overhaul structures. They're chicken coops and gazebos, and I believe it was Arcadia first.
Yeah,
is the first location, and we've seen an increase in our traffic just because of carrying those items, like you say, greenhouses and chicken coops and dog kennels. I know some shed manufacturers dive into that and try to do that, but you guys have kind of focused in on the just that and not the storage shed part of it. Do you have a particular reason why? Did you see a need for that, or how did you come about with that just being what you guys were focused on?
Well, a lot of it started before I even started with the company. Overhaul did manufacture for Dirksen portable buildings, so it was kind of an agreement between Dirksen and Overhaul that we would not manufacture storage sheds.
Okay.
But then we started our own product line of what I just described.
Yeah.
More specialty products that are more streamlined.
So I think one of the things that I would say is the building themselves. You use LP siding on it. You use a really good flooring system inside of the dog kennels and different things like that. So I'm sure over the 10 years that you've seen it, you look at something, and if something's not quite right, you tweak it to make it a little bit better. But that's one of the things that one of our lots up actually in Dalton, Georgia, we got some of the product in there, and my manager there called me, and she's like, "Peter, this stuff is way better than our competition stuff." And I said, well, there you go. That is, we're striving for quality, and that's one of the things that we appreciate with Overhaul, and what you do there.
So real quick, guys, we are coming to you live today. This is a perfect opportunity. If you have a question for Quentin or Overhaul, or how dog kennels are performing, or maybe you want to become a dealer, this is the whole point of going live. You can click the link in the comments or the description if you're on YouTube. You can join the stage, ask the questions, or you can text us, you can email us. But the easiest way is to simply comment on this video wherever you're watching at. We'll see your comments live, get your questions answered for Quentin, for Overhaul. I know I have a lot of questions about it. I love seeing the dog kennels and the stuff. I don't know how much they sell, to be honest with you. I don't see that day to day. But what I like about it is it catches people's eye. I know whenever we drive by, my kids always point out if there's a new chicken coop or a new dog kennel at Peter's lot. because they're always, wanting to buy it to get a new dog or something. But Quentin, what states do you service so the people listening can know if they're eligible to, to work with you guys?
So we serve the whole state of Georgia, but then we would cover a fairly large part of Florida. We cover a pretty major part of Alabama, and then we get into North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee a little bit. Those markets definitely are not as big up in those areas as what Florida, Alabama, and Georgia would be our primary states where we service right now.
Okay. And so on your product, if you can tell us, and all of this is live, so there's no takebacks, shouldn't have said that. So feel free to get around any of these answers if they're too proprietary, maybe. But we like to keep everything open and honest on here to help the industry. But I know you sell dog kennels, chicken coops, gazebos. I think that's it. What do you see as far as when somebody brings them on their lot, the foot traffic that go up, and then also, what do you see as your bigger, is it dog kennels better than chicken coops better than gazebos? And I'm sure that's territory by territory, but kind of give us an overview of that.
Yeah, the one thing that you missed there is we do have greenhouses, and greenhouses are by far and away our number one seller. There's no question about that. I know a lot of people carry wooden greenhouses. Our greenhouses are a tubular steel frame. And we use the Palram polycarbonate, which is considered one of the best in the industry when it comes to polycarbonate panels as well. And so a lot of those things is where it plays. Dog kennels, I will chime in on dog kennels. That is one of the most unpredictable things to figure out. Like, I've been looking at our graphs of product lines. Dog kennels, it's really hard to find a rhythm and a pattern. It just seems it goes in spurts. So I'm still trying to figure out what makes that. Chicken coops, those are a springtime. That's where we have the rush for chicken coops. But I would also say, going back to the greenhouses, we definitely saw a huge sales uptick when COVID hit. A lot of people were going to the model of wanting to grow their own food, and so greenhouses obviously took a big jump up for us. And since COVID hit, we also have offered a lot of different options and done some upgraded greenhouses as well, and so that makes a big.
So one of the things that I will say I noticed with actually my manager up in Georgia. She called me, like I said, and she was telling me that, hey, they have more than one row of shelving inside of this greenhouse. There's multiple rows, and there's a watering system in the chicken coop, and there's a automatic door that slides up and down. Like, so some of these features that you have, it's not just it's kind of like you can get a base model Coupe de Ville, or you can get the decked out Cadillac. And that's I think that's the cool thing is you've seen ahead and seen what the needs are, and you're putting stuff out there so people can see those features and then be able to choose either that or just a plain old, I got to open up the coop every morning and I got to close it every night and so on and so forth. So I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, but when COVID came around, a lot of people were stuck at home. And they got into almost like a hobby when it came to greenhouses or chickens or something like that. And you guys didn't just sit on your hands and say, this is what we do. You kind of looked forward and added some of those cool features into there. Do you have anything groundbreaking that's coming out on those, or do you want to say?
I don't know that we have anything groundbreaking coming out. It's more, the one thing I've discovered in the industry is, especially with greenhouses, most of my greenhouses, I'll put a lot of options into them. And I've discovered, going back in history, working for the company for 10 years, 10 years ago, the greenhouses that weren't selling were the ones that had no options.
Yeah.
And so I tell people, back in the day, we very rarely put extra shelving in a greenhouse. We only had 2 shelves in it. Then I started just putting it in as an option. And today, there's very few greenhouses that we build that don't have that a customer doesn't add additional shelving. It's simply showing a customer what is available, and if they don't like it, they don't have to order it that way. But at the same time, very rarely does a customer look at those options and be like, no, I don't want that. They want it. And so it's a matter of just experimenting and finding out what they want.
And Andrew, I don't know if you have a comment, but I have a question or a comment from there. So if you have one, I'll let you go first. So we were talking about this actually yesterday. We're going to have a couple of guests on talking about customer appreciation days and what they've done and what they're doing and how it turned out and different things like that. And the amount of time, effort, and money that they put into it to be able to appreciate the customer, but also raise an awareness about their location. And so I'm just kind of putting the correlation between that and what you just said about greenhouses and chicken coops and things like that. I think, and this is the conversation we had yesterday, it was like, how much money, how much time, how much do you invest into something to be able, and I think the old saying of what you put in is what you get out. Because I've seen greenhouses before where it's literally just the one shelf. There is, and so have they sold very well? No, they haven't. But as soon as that one came onto the lot and my manager saw it, like she was on the phone that same day, like, hey, check this out. And she's not even the one buying it, but she's excited about the features that were already in there. And so I think investing into it, if it's a customer appreciation day, putting a little bit, oh, well, our budget's only going to be $100. Well, I'm sorry, you got to put a lot more than that into it. And you may not get all your money back out right then, but it's a long game as far as investing into it to make it go on there. And that's the correlations I see with customer appreciation, but also sheds. I think Andrew could speak to this because his brother has Eternity Buildings, and one of the things that they started was a platinum model shed where they finished the floors with LVP flooring. They put insulation in the walls. They did can lighting. They did LP siding on the inside, all painted. They made it look finished out. The cost was a whole lot more, but when somebody came in and stood inside of one of those buildings, immediately it was like, wow, I want this. And then you take them over to the stud walls. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just immediately it's almost like, oh. And then you let them choose at that point. Yeah, we can get you here the Cadillac, or you want the Coupe de Ville, or we can go right in the middle. We can insulate it and you can finish it out. Giving all those options. I think that's what's really neat about the industry is it's jumping that way. And I know there's other shed manufacturers that are doing things like that, but it's really cool in the portable structures other than shed storage buildings that you guys are doing. Go ahead, Andrew. I know you got a comment.
Yeah. So, a lot of companies try to race to the bottom. I said this for a long time, is customers are willing to pay, not just to pay, but for better experiences, for better features, for better, just the bells and whistles. Because you see, you can look at, yes, the Kia road is busy. If you also look at the Cadillac dealership, they're busy as well. And the BMW. And for us, it's finding your market and staying in that. And don't be scared of that. Okay? We do have a caller on our a listener that has clicked the link to join. And so we'll bring you here on stage. And just so we have Tyler here. Tyler, you're on mute there. I don't know if you meant to join or not, but if you have a question, you can unmute your mic and ask that question.
Oh, no, guys.
Oh, you muted there.
Thought I'd just...
Oh, muted there for a second, Tyler. Welcome to the show.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Hey, guys. No, I didn't really necessarily have a question. I just saw you guys were live and thought I'd jump on and see what was going on. So, yeah, no great question. Just enjoying listening to the conversation.
Understood. Well, thanks for listening, and we appreciate you listening in. If you do have a question or comment, do you guys sell portable like chicken coops or greenhouses where you're at?
We do. Yes, sir.
like Quentin was saying, the chicken coops go in the springtime. Is it you see the same pattern there? Where I think Oklahoma, if I remember right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm in Oklahoma. We get a lot of inquiries on the chicken coops and those kind of things. Really spread out throughout the year. They're a really good product to have alongside our portable buildings. So,
yeah. What is and I know you and such, but if you don't mind, just tell the listeners who what company you're with and where you're at.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. I'm Tyler Mahan. I'm with Better Barns here in Oklahoma. Been with them for since 2003. So I guess about 23 years now. And we do a lot of portable buildings and things of that nature. Big metal buildings, the carports, greenhouses, the whole 9 yards, basically what everybody else is probably doing. A lot of folks are doing. And then I work with Shed Geek on the consulting side, along with Peter and some other guys in the industry, trying to help new guys that are just getting into the industry learn some things that make this industry work and make it great. And that's why I jumped on here with you guys. And I didn't think I was going to get on the stage. I just wanted to listen. So
I tell you, we're not trying to trick anybody. It's just it looks like the link to join, and all of a sudden you're joining on stage. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you hopping on and saying that. And if you're in Oklahoma and need a building, reach out to Tyler. And like you said, he's also in the Shed Geek Consulting. If you need any of that, feel free to reach out to Shed Geek Consulting there. And definitely appreciate you hopping on here.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to fade back into the background and just listen, gentlemen. I appreciate what you guys are talking about.
Thank you, sir.
All righty. Well, that's how easy it is, folks. You just click that link. It'll bring you up on the stage. You don't have to click the link just to listen, but if you want to click it, text us questions. I know we receive some through the week. So even if you're watching this after it airs, I know it's hard to follow live sometime. You can still comment. We'll follow up on those, get your questions asked. Or if you want to be on the show like Quentin is today, you just got to go visit Peter. No, I'm just kidding. You can email us. We'll get you on the show. But back to some more questions, Quentin. You're in the hot seat today. So I know we had talked about chicken coops in the spring and stuff like that, but what are you seeing that's kind of trending more than usual? Is there anything that's right now that is, selling more than it used to be? I know you said greenhouses were your number one, which I was super surprised. I mean, I guess I'm in South Florida though, so I don't know if we use greenhouses down here or not, but I don't know. Do they use do you sell greenhouses down here?
We've sold one out of our Fort Myers location. It's only been there maybe a month. So yeah, we they're selling.
Maybe down in Fort Myers, they're using greenhouses for a different kind of plant.
Hey, knocking on the Fort Myers folks. Oh man! If you're in the Lee County, Henry County, Collier County area, or Charlotte County, you need to comment on here and tell us what you use your greenhouses for.
No, but Quentin, back on a serious note, what are you surprised to see as far as, I know we talked about some features that are selling, but what else is trending that maybe is different than normal? Anything?
I'm honestly not quite sure how to answer that. As far as something new that is trending, I know for us, like I know I get itchy feet. I want to keep developing new product lines and getting some new stuff going. One of the things we are currently working on that I think is going to grab some attention is as opposed to doing just your smaller backyard chicken coops, is we are looking at starting to build larger chicken coops that are free range with access where you can, like our current chicken coops, probably you're looking at max of 20 chickens, depending what size you are. But we're looking at developing some of it to go up to 50. Wow. 50 to 60 chickens where you have a whole bunch of them. That's in the making right now. And there's a few of our dealers that have put it out there for people to see. So we're continuing to build some more of them and get them out there. where it actually looks kind of like a shed, but once you step inside, then it's decked out with your washable floor. You've got a PVC liner on the inside, all that stuff. So
that brings another question to mind, and I don't know, you can shoot me down real quick, but they're in Northwest Georgia in our Dalton location. As I drive around that area, there's all kind of chicken farms where they have these, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 foot wide by 350 foot long chicken farms. They're growing them for meat or eggs, I guess meat. And I've had people ask me about like carports to, like, it's falling down or something like that. But I'm guessing, I've never been on the inside of one, but I'm guessing the inside of those is made out of wood because they've been around for, usually they're really old and they're needing to replace them. But is that more of like a pole barn construction that would just be finished out, or would that be something that could be a potential market for overhaul, or is that just something you're not wanting to get into? It almost is like a build on site at that point.
Like, are you talking about the big chicken farms? Yeah, that's probably more on a commercial grade, and that's really not an area that we're looking to get into. We're looking more to appeal. Obviously, you already said we're not appealing to try to bring the price point down, but we're looking at building a quality structure, right, where people get bang for their buck, and they also have a building that's going to last for a long time. But it's more so to the residential customer than it is to a commercial level.
Yeah, and to be honest, when somebody had reached out, we had provided that quote, and honestly, it's been probably about, I'm going to guess, 3 or 4 years ago. So I didn't complete the sale. That's a strike on me. But it brought back, when you mentioned that big of a chicken coop, kind of like, hey, that's just something that I've come across, and maybe in different parts of the country they're more prevalent than others. I know I don't see them down here. I think they're probably here. It just, maybe it's I'm just not driving in the right spot.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to sign up for a dealer, what's the process? What does that look like? How does your options work for someone that's watching this and say, hey, I might want to sign up for these chicken coops? Are they able to get just chicken coops, or is it kind of a package? Kind of explain your process, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. We pretty much operate strictly on consignment. So we own the inventory. The dealer gets paid a commission for it. Some of our dealers, in the situation with Peter here, he has a delivery driver that delivers off the lot for us. But then we would take care of delivery. We pay the dealer a commission to sell for us. But as far as them buying stuff from us, the dealer does not do that. It's strictly consignment is the way we have operated thus far. And I don't really see that changing in the near future. What was the other part of your question? I forgot.
Yeah, so that's a great method. I think a lot of people like the consignment method. But as far as, like, are you taking on new dealers? And what's the process for them? How would they reach out to you? Would you, do they start off with 1 or 2 units? Like, if someone's looking to sign up with you, what's that look like?
Basically, yeah, we are looking to sign up new dealers in certain areas. It's really hard to say that, we're targeting this certain area, because in the consignment world, dealers come and dealers go. I try to we work on a handshake agreement, so that if we decide that business isn't good for either one of us, then we can shake hands and move on and wish the best to both parties in that way. So a lot of that, if they do want to get in touch with me about setting up a dealership, I usually tell people either text me or send me an email. I'll take a look at the area, and I can tell you pretty quickly if there's any hope of a dealership coming in your area. I do have a lot of people reaching out wanting our product line. Unfortunately, a lot of the new dealers, I have to tell them no because we have an existing dealer in the area already. And so obviously, if you call me from an area where there is a dealer and the dealer isn't performing well, I will consider it. And when I say that, I usually always give a dealer at least 1 year on board with us just to see what can we do in a year's time. But most times I'll even go even longer than that, simply because it takes a bit of time to get your feet wet and try to learn the system and continue learning what is the selling point of our products. So, yeah, I'm gonna.
So I got a question on that because you have dealers around. And Andrew, I kind of jumped in there. Did you have something to follow up on that?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Because you have your dealers around and different things. One of the things that's kind of jumping into the shed world, and I don't know if it's jumped into this, is online sales. Do you have or do you plan on having online sales where they can basically sell anywhere as long as they're marketing across the board? Or is that something you're not jumping into just yet or thought about?
No, it is something that we currently use the Shed app as our sales system. I'm sure many of you guys are familiar with that. The one obstacle that we do have right now is we are trying to develop 3D to bring that along. One of the difficulties is our product line is different enough from a shed that it's a little bit more work to get involved and get 3D models, and that has been a pretty major obstacle for online sales, I would say. But we definitely are working on developing and resolving that end of it. But I still don't have a date where we're going to be releasing that and getting it up to par.
So that would be the difference between in-house and online. Online with the sheds, we send a 3D model so they can see it visually. Yeah, and I think as the shed industry is growing, more and more of these things are going to just, excel and get to the point where it can be that way. Because, I mean, Andrew knows this on the furniture side of things, what is it? Wayfair is massive, and they've been advertising for, I don't know how many, it seems like 20 years. I don't know. But advertising online, you watch anything on TV, and before long you see a Wayfair commercial come on there. And, they're really hitting that marketing side of things there to get people in. But do you know, Andrew, do they have any brick and mortar stores, or is it all through just that online advertising and going online and ordering?
I believe they do have a couple now, but for years it was just marketing and, online.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Brick and mortar is hard. And so, it's all about how we do it. And with shed lots, it's a great, thing. I've always said, I don't know how many you sell, Peter, but either way, it just, even like with swing sets and, outdoor furniture, it gets people to look at your lot and it makes them something different than the lot beside you. It makes your lot colorful I know I've seen some like red chicken coops and some colorful ones and dog kennels and, it looks cool. Even if you don't sell them, obviously Quentin wants you to sell a bunch, and I'm sure there's dealers out there that sell a lot. But it's all about getting eyeballs. The more eyeballs you can get, whether that's from advertising, from promoting, from feather flags, from taking your shirt off and standing on the corner with a sign, anything that gets someone to look.
Not
anything that gets someone to look.
Well, and I think for me, can I chime in here just a little bit?
Yeah.
That's one of the things through the Shed app. Like every dealer has their own store number, where there are links that I do share with every dealer, where they can use those links to market their inventory, build to order. They can market inventory online, and so kind of from my perspective, I'm not necessarily looking to make the sale myself. That's why we have dealers. And that's why, for me, the vision is more to equip a system so that our dealers can take that and use it to market the products for us. Because for me, like I do have sales guys that help me, but a lot of a lot of the stuff online, I'm simply trying to communicate with the dealers and equip them to sell for us as opposed to try to bring them to me.
Yeah, you direct it back to that.
Yeah, absolutely. If I remember Quentin correctly, didn't I see you at a fair before?
Yeah,
And-
you did.
Yeah.
There was quite a few years ago. I was down
Yeah.
in Arcadia, Florida, at the county fair there. So
Yeah,
it was
so-
back in the day when our owner had a metal shop there in Arcadia, but that has changed since then.
You
So,
know, I think now that you mentioned that, I think that's how you and I
what's it?
I think that's how this all the whole thing, because his brother Peter,
Yeah.
is my business partner. Yeah, that's I didn't think about that, but that makes sense now.
And
But it all goes back
do
to the
love-
fact of
I
What's
do
that?
love going to shows and doing that kind of stuff with dealers. I know I can't do it but so often, but at the same time, I do love that kind of interaction with people.
yeah, absolutely.
Well,
It goes back to show like just getting your name out there, going to that fair. I mean, you live, I don't know, 10, 12 hours from Arcadia, but you were at the fair. I had my kids there, and I was talking to you, and like, hey, wait, you're the guy over all this? And obviously, I guess it led to meeting Peter Miller. Now you have several of his shed lots. So it goes to the fact of like, you might have not sold anything at that fair. I don't know, but just hypothetically say you didn't sell anything. People look at that, oh man, I wasted my time. Like, no, you didn't waste your time. It's all about the more you can get your stuff out there with marketing, with going to the fairs, going to the food festivals, putting your I know every year you guys do, like Peter does, like the parade. Put your thing in the parade. It's all about those little tiny things that add up and create, people when they get big, they don't be like, wow, we're a massive company because of this one thing. No, it's like they just constantly work at it. And Quentin, you're a good example of that, of being out there. Even if you're in, I guess, Auburndale today, all the way down from your house. And I think you're going to Sebring and Fort Myers today or tomorrow, something like that. But it's just, you're a good example of supporting your dealers. If you guys need anything, please reach out to Quentin at Overhaul. Is it Overhaul Buildings? Overhaul
What's a good-
Structures.
Email or phone
Yeah.
number?
Absolutely. My email is qmiller@overhaulga.com. And so I don't know, can we type it somewhere in a chat
Yeah,
or in a comment somewhere?
yeah. Let me put it.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Comments.
What's your email?
qmiller.
Yep.
Letter Q for my first name and then Miller for my last name. And then
Yep.
it's at overhaltga.com.
All right. I'll have that on the screen for you guys. If you're interested, you can always email him, and some information on the
There we go.
Agreed.
some information on getting some thing like that. But anyways, we appreciate you getting on, Quentin, and just showing, telling us about the industry, about some things that have worked for you. I know Peter's got another question. Go ahead, Peter.
So I've got one input. You talked about fairs. You talked about investing in that. I've got to mention. I know because I always mention it. Shed Sales Summit is coming up September 22nd. We are approaching very quickly, but the end of this month is the end of early bird special. So if you want to save money on tickets, you need to order your tickets today or in the next 2 days, right before the end of the month, because that goes away. And you guys, we want you to save as much money as possible, and we look forward to seeing you there. The networking aspect of it is going to be phenomenal. I know that we had over 300 people there last year. Come to that. If you're in the rent-own or looking to rent-own, go to the NSRA, which will be Monday and Tuesday, along with us. We're working with them. And then while you're in town, go to the Shed Builder Expo on Wednesday and Thursday. It is a great time all across the board. We want to see you guys there.
Absolutely. Quentin, are you coming to the Shed Sales Summit?
I am. Yep, and I've got 2 of my coworkers coming.
Hot
along.
diggity dog. All right. Forget the email. Don't email and don't call them. See him at the Shed Sales Summit in person and get some chicken coops, some gazebos, greenhouses. But anyways, thank you so much. You can follow us on the Simply Shed Talk Facebook group, also the Shed Sales Summit Facebook page, or on YouTube, the Simply Shed Talk. Join it. Click the notifications. You'll get notified when we go live, so you can ask the questions, join the conversation. But we really appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Quentin, for coming on again. But we will see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Thank you.